This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
I'm Roby Brock. Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. It's Tuesday, January 10th. The governor gives his State of the State address to Arkansas lawmakers. That's where we begin with our political coverage.
Governor Asa Hutchinson told Arkansas lawmakers that the state of the state is exceptional as he outlined some of his legislative priorities on day 2 of the 91st General Assembly. In a joint session of the House and Senate, Hutchinson hearkened back to his predecessor 50 years ago, former Republican Governor Winthrop Rockefeller, whose progressive views helped influence generations of Arkansas politics. Rockefeller was actually sworn into office in his historic first term on this exact day, January 10th, 1967, a half century ago. While Hutchinson's speech was mostly aspirational, the big news from the day was that he would form a blue ribbon legislative task force to pull together a blueprint for simplifying and lowering Arkansas's tax rates. The move's expected to give more momentum to Governor Hutchinson's tax reform plan.
So how did the legislature react to the governor's comments? Well, we'll bring you some reaction after this short break. And later, our top business stories of the day and the latest from the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal with editor Paul Gatling. This is Talk Business and Politics.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
While the 91st General Assembly officially started yesterday with the new legislature being sworn in, today was the day for the governor's State of the State address. You've heard what the highlights were. Well, what was the reaction of the overwhelmingly Republican legislature to the governor's comments?
I want to see more details. It's a 30,000-foot speech, and of course, as we all know, the devil's in the details.
I thought he did a good job connecting the principles of the old with the needs of the principles of the new, and as far as giving us a vision of where he'd like us to go as working together as legislative branch, administrative branch, it put a common bridge between two of us that we ought to be able to work back and forth across.
Well, generally supportive of most of the things that he mentioned. I do have a few questions and some issues that I want to look at. The tax cut, it does favor lower income on the income tax. I like that. I still want to look at how our revenue goes for the next couple of months. I support the exemption on the military retirement income. I do have some questions about a couple of the ways that it's funded, one of those specifically being removing the exemption on the manufactured housing.
And that's about all for the pomp and circumstance this week at the state legislature. It'll be a slow start on legislation as everyone kind of settles in. Look for some committee action of significance as early as next week. Of course, you can keep up with our daily coverage of the legislature through our website at talkbusiness.net. A quick break, and we'll run through our top business headlines, and later we'll catch up with Paul Gatling, editor of the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal. Stick around.
Circuits turn on the lights by making a connection, by closing the loop. At Entergy, we believe our economy is circular too. What you put in comes back. So we invest billions in new infrastructure, which helps attract new industry, which helps create new jobs. We partner with local communities to electrify the economy, and together we power life. Entergy.
Time to run through our top business stories of the day. Here's your rundown.
Walmart stores confirmed it will announce corporate layoffs later this month, but the retailer did not say how many jobs were to be eliminated. But it did confirm the jobs were largely in its Bentonville home office and support staff. Insiders told Talk Business and Politics the first of the layoffs will likely begin this Friday. The Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the situation, reported hundreds of jobs will be axed before the end of the month, which is the retailer's fiscal year end. Walmart did not confirm any such figure. The monthly National Federation of Independent Business Index of Small Business Optimism surged in December to its highest level since 2004, with a jump of 38 points in the number of business owners who expect better business conditions in 2017. The index reached 105.8, an increase of 7.4 points. Leading the way was, I expect, better business conditions, which rose from a net 12% in November to a net 50% last month.
You can keep up with those business stories and, of course, our political coverage each and every day at talkbusiness.net. When we come back, Paul Gatling with the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal hits the highlights of our most recent edition of the news magazine. We're back after this.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
I did.
Our sister publication, the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal, does a stellar job covering the news of Northwest Arkansas. Paul Gatling offers insight on what's in the latest edition.
Our first issue of the year on the cover is Tom Hopper. I had a chance to visit with Mr. Hopper. Long has been known as one of the area's most respected business and civic leaders who recently retired in late November from Rogers engineering firm Craft & Tull. Mr. Hopper came to the U of A from McGee High School in the 1960s, played football for Frank Broyles, graduated with an engineering degree, went to work for Craft & Tull & Associates in February of 1970, and never left. He became a part owner of the company in 1977. Was president, CEO, both of those roles at certain times through the years, has been chairman of the board since 2000. But after tying up a few loose ends in December, retired from the company, 2 months shy of 47 years. He'll be semi-roasted, I guess you could say, and from what I hear, at a retirement dinner at the Embassy Suites in Rogers in February. Also that month, the company board of directors will convene for their annual meeting to choose a new chairman, so we'll be watching to see who that is. Over in Siloam Springs, a Russellville developer is nearing completion on an 80-room Holiday Inn Express. Noteworthy because with 80 rooms, that will be the largest hotel in Siloam Springs once it's completed. It should be ready for business by March the 1st. Jennifer Joyner also has some leisure and hospitality news. She tells us that that sector is the 6th fastest growing job market in the U.S. For that particular industry sector. She has some analysis on those numbers from Annette Nichols, the general manager of the Hyatt Place in Rogers, just off the interstate there, and as well as from Hospitality Association Executive Director Montine McNulty also gives her take on what those numbers mean. In our supply side section that follows the retail supplier community, Kim Souza offers some analysis from Rockfish Interactive Executive Bill Akins on the buzzword personalization and how retailers and suppliers are looking at ways of how they can connect with consumers on a more deeper level, more personal level to drive sales, of course. You can find those stories and more on our website at nwabusinessjournal.com.
That's Paul Gatling, editor of the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal, and that is all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. We will see you tomorrow.